And I'm gonna just I'm gonna make you dizzy because YouTube settings has got me in this terrible loop. How are you? The problem is the camera. How you all doing? So, yeah, I've got to figure out what's going on with YouTube. The problem is the camera, the orientation of the camera. It's not cooperating. Bear with me while I breathe. I'll be back in a sec. So now, until I figure it out, I have to position my iPad like this. So it's a little weird. If anybody out here in Fanland is a techie, I need your help. Anyway, how are you doing? We'll just go this way. We'll get started in a sec. I promise. Lots to talk about. So, remember, faith involves risk. We live in a risky time. I hope that you got to tune in to Kathy Beale and I when we had our show last night. Who's saying I could care what Clooney thinks? Why, what did Clooney say? You sent Patty Murray a scathing email. Okay, let me just tell you all that I'm out of the loop on the news. And let me tell you what the experience is for me with the news. And Warren's asking where Elliot and where the stuffed animals are. YouTube keeps changing the settings so that I can't go horizontal with my iPad. I have to go vertical with my iPad. You all know what I go through. Okay, Clooney wants Biden to drop out, you're saying. What's going on? What's going on in America right now? I read on it the other night. And what I read on the other night said very clearly that people are being, in a sense, I guess I would call it brainwashed. And so there are people that are shockingly coming to a place of not supporting Joe Biden. We voted for Biden in the primaries. Biden is the best president in American history, at least in terms of our lifetimes. The stock market is soaring. Job numbers are at record highs and have remained at record highs. Inflation is down. Biden is working for the American people. The only reason Donald Trump is running is to avoid going to prison. Biden has the best chance of winning. So if somebody says, I don't want Joe Biden to be in the race, what they're actually doing is they're completely showing us all that they are blind to what is happening right now in the United States. They're planning another coup. Now, last night at our Grassroots of Democracy meeting, I read, and I encourage you all, I don't think I have the page marked, but let me just see. I encourage you all to read this book. And the reason or a book called People of the Lie. Now, those of you who were there last night at our meeting know that I spoke about this and I read from this. And without reading from this directly, I'm going to tell you what's in this book. Hear me out. Listen up. I'm dead serious. I'm speaking to you as a spiritual leader / teacher who's been in this business for 30 plus years. I'm in my 31st year. You don't do this work without an awareness that the demonic exists, and it's alive and well. And Satan throughout history has been referred to as the father of lies and the deceiver. And evil hides. And the fact that I cannot even turn on mainstream media news, except I have watched Lawrence O'Donnell. He's very filled with light. Because I have a feeling of revulsion. Your body knows I am revolted by what is going on right now. I cannot believe that evil has gotten the grip that it has gotten on this nation. And it is from Russia. I cannot watch or tolerate lies designed to pull us into the fear and pull us into the darkness and pull us into the worry and pull us into the despair and lead us, because not unconsciously, down a road that we don't want to be on. In that book, I'll hold it up again. There's an actual exorcism. I haven't read the whole thing. I did read People of the Lie. There's an actual exorcism in this book. And what I talked about last night at our Grassroots of Democracy meeting was this. In this book, in a description of an actual exorcism that Scott Peck participated in, there was a demon that showed up, which was the demon of confusion, that named itself. And what did the demon of confusion do? The demon of confusion got into Scott Peck, who was part of the exorcism team, got into his head and made him feel like his brain was scrambling, like egg beaters were taken to his brain. And he felt disoriented and confused. And I am here to tell you right now, this is a different kind of PNN. This is serious crap. I'm not going to swear. What I witnessed on June 27th on that debate stage was the demonic at work. And the other thing that showed me this was that really crazed look on Donald Trump's face. That demonic smirk and the scrambling talk designed to confuse, because the way that the demonic works is it confuses you. And it's gotten a grip on America because the American people who were all in for democracy, all in for a good person who has done the best job in American history at being the President of the United States, guiding us during a time of war, putting NATO back together stronger than ever, being on the world stage, bringing America back into the public, the world stage, with bringing our dignity and our respect back. 3 times out of 3 times over the past 2 days, I decided out of curiosity just to check in and see what they were talking about on the news. Guess what happened? 3 out of 3 times, I gave it about 10 seconds. I am dead serious. Every single time, they were talking about Joe Biden's potentially being unfit for president, while the big fat liar Satan incarnate is up there at these rallies talking about Hannibal freaking Lecter. And let me just ask you all something. If you had a friend and you went out with your friend, and your friend every time you went out was saying Hannibal Lecter out of the blue. You're not even talking about Hannibal. Who's that? Wouldn't you be like, well, that's freaking weird? Why does my friend keep talking about a fictional character who's a murderer and a cannibal, who's a personification fictionally of Satan incarnate? Why is my friend bringing up Hannibal Lecter all the time? Perhaps he's a cannibal. What's happening in this country, and I just want to tell you all, I am being shadow blocked on YouTube. It's very clear to me. I can't turn it on. I'm not turning the TV on, except for Lawrence O'Donnell. That's my disclaimer. I turned on MSNBC for a second this morning. What I heard them saying when they were going to break on MSNBC, I'm giving them a little bit of a chance. I turn it on, and what do I hear? When we come back, we're going to be talking to so-and-so and so-and-so about Biden's fitness. Yesterday, last night, I saw a little clip of CNN. Guess what the Chiron said? Biden looked pale at the debates. There was a third one, too. That was probably MSNBC. Yeah. The MSNBC episode of Morning Joe that I didn't catch because I kept turning it off was when Joe Biden called in. I'm so over it, you're so over it, but the only thing that's going to save us is if we keep the eye on the freaking ball. Today I heard a little bit of a hearing in which these MAGAs have a huge problem with having an environmental protection agency. His NATO speech was strong. Joe Biden is a strong president. And I think the evil incarnate stuff of the MAGA and all that, I can't stomach somebody being mocked for a speech disability. We couldn't stand it when Donald Trump, we couldn't believe it, when he mocked a disabled reporter on a stage, made fun of him. This is no different. To mock Joe Biden because he has a speech impairment, he has a stutter and a lisp, and always has. To mock him for that is demonic and evil. Yeah, remember when spelling potato wrong was a problem? We have sunk so low. The other night before I went off on Monday night, I apologize for the noise. The other night before I ended the live stream, somebody mentioned Neil Young. Neil Young is I'm a huge fan. I always have been. The person who mixed my record is Neil Young's engineer, the first record. Remember when George W. was president and got us into like an endless war, and it had just started, and people that came out to protest, like Neil Young, because it was there was a song called "Let's Impeach the President for Lying." Remember that? Remember that? Let's impeach the president for lying. People were walking out of the concerts because they believed that no matter what, you have to support your president. Right? How far we have fallen. We have to continue to feel enraged. We have to continue to feel motivated. We cannot go back to sleep. We are in really interesting times. And I just want, full disclaimer, I'm just going to tell you that when you come on to hear me, I reserve the right to rant. Evil is knowing better, but willingly doing worse. I have to rant, and I'm ranting for you. And you can rant all you want in the chat. I welcome it. I want to ask you all to please resubscribe to my channel and Please, if there's something important that I say that you feel like it's a message that others need to hear, I beg you to share my videos. YouTube is attempting to shut me down. Thank you, Electra Storm. Yes. Amy's saying my rant or what she would say. Yeah. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And as you know, if you have been here for a few minutes, YouTube does this crazy thing where I have to clear the cache or something, and the screen orientation gets all off, and then it throws me off, because the dark side will try to discourage you. I'm just saying. As a side note. Not that there's a demon in my machine, but who knows, right? I am talking from experience with the demonic. I am not joking. This is evil at work. The reason Scott Peck wrote the book, The People of the Lie, and this book, Glimpses of the Devil, the reason that he wrote it and he risked his reputation was because people weren't talking about evil enough. And you have to know your enemy. Thank you for being in agreement with that we need to talk about this. Know thy enemy. Educate yourself on evil. I fired off a letter to MSNBC this morning, and I want to encourage you all to reach out to mainstream media and to say, I am boycotting you, and here's why. You're bashing the best president of the United States ever. We have the best economy in the world, and all you do is bash him, and you never talk about Trump. You're not talking about Project 2025, which is the plan for a fascist takeover that, I'm not saying it's going to happen. If something like that happened, it would happen overnight. You can smell evil. Yeah, it stinks. And Trump stinks too. Physically smell stinks. And I'm happy. One of the things that really gave me hope, I'm happy to see that Project 2025 was the thing that was Googled more than Taylor Swift. And here is, these are cards that I had made up. I owe them to a couple of people who requested them. I have them on Vistaprint. It's easy to reorder them. I had 2,000 made, handed them out at the parade. You can take them to a coffee shop and leave them. I noticed that I left them in my brochure holder that no longer holds my brochures outside, but people are taking them. Or the Epstein, yeah, how about Epstein? Thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. We have tea leaves tonight. And then Trump says he doesn't know anything about the 2025 plan. How about all the times he's contradicting himself? How about the debate? Everything he said everything that came out of his mouth was an absolute bold-faced lie. And they never said anything. And they're still not saying anything. And I will write to George Clooney. I will write to George Clooney. I will. I'll find his contact information. I'll be like, remember the perfect storm that put you on the map there, Georgie? Wake up. It's because of us, so you got all that fame. I'm just joking. Right to mainstream media. I'm all disoriented. Okay. Where am I? What are we doing? I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that we have this channel. I am not quitting. I told you at the start of the year I'm not going to quit. You probably too have noticed. My numbers of views have gone down by the thousands. Truth, actual truth, is what's being blocked. You know George Clooney's parents? Give me an email address. Yeah, I can't believe George Clooney is doing that. And that makes me think they drank the Kool-Aid. And I read on it the other night. I did. That they're under hypnosis. And fear makes people do and say crazy things. filming now, demon possessed. You're filming now? Wait, what are you saying? Filming now, demon possessed person, there is real evil. You're filming a demon possessed person? They're out there. Oh my gosh, and I was just mentioning this hearing today. Who's this Mike Lee? It wasn't he's terrible. Some of the people in Congress, the House Republicans, or we can't even call them Republicans anymore, they're possessed. Seriously. Let's just pollute the environment. Let's go all gung-ho. We're getting ready for the busiest hurricane season ever. I'm nervous. You can see the ocean behind me. It already floods here. Are these celebrities being manipulated on the internet? Yes, they're being manipulated on the internet. Yes, they are. By the way, got your pictures, Cheryl. Send your pictures to, go to psychicannetteDion.com and submit your selfie picture. We want to see who you are. Where am I from? What do you mean, where am I from? You mean what planet? The Perfect Storm, that was written by Sebastian Younger and George Clooney, starred in it as the captain of the Andrea Gale, a fishing boat that went down. Set in Gloucester, Massachusetts. It's the oldest fishing village in the United States. That's where I live. Yeah, well, okay, so the good news is I did see some news today that a huge Russian bot farm was shut down. "25% of California elites, wealthy people are voting for Trump," as if that's going to be good for them. We're going to get slammed by hurricanes this year. Well, we got to pray the hurricanes away if we can. We just, remember that hurricane last year that, I can't remember the name, it was a male name, that almost hit us? That was scary. 3 cards above the Democrats. Oh, and the Republicans are MAGA. I'm just going to say MAGA. Real evil there. Real demons there. And speaking of demons, right after January 6th, it was like that. There were so many signs of the demonic in that. Clooney is full of himself. Yeah, that's true. I used to like him. In that hearing, there was a hearing today. And they're all back and, hitting the ground running, those MAGAs. They want to shut down the EPA, and they want to just let all corporations just like have a field day, pollute the water, pollute the air, no FDA, let us be poisoned, don't care about the children, don't care about education. Evil hates life. So they're also taking away voting rights and claiming that all these illegals, the MAGAs are saying, all these illegals are voting illegally, when it's against the law. It's against the law to vote if you're not a citizen, if you're not legal, right? So they make stuff up. How about the latest one? I heard that somebody just made up, fake story, totally fake story. They made up the fake story that Biden had a medical emergency on Air Force One. Did you hear that one? And then they just retweet it. How are the Democrats doing? How the Democrats are doing is like this. Okay, now, I did say the other night when I was looking at, is this like ridiculousness with these Democrats bailing on Biden? I was so angry about the disloyalty. The disloyalty not to Biden, to our country. But I did read on it the other night, and I did see it appeared as though a lot of the Democrats were going to have a come to Jesus moment. And that they were going to realize the error of their ways and think more. Remember I was talking about I think people forgot how to think? Because if you just reflect on what are you doing not supporting the incumbent president, who is the only reason that you and I are doing okay. Let's be real. The story about Biden was released at the same time as Biden was walking down Air Force One steps. Yeah, they just make it up. Hang on, I'm putting the leaf of this table down so I can see your comments better. It's hard for me to see. So, the Eight of Cups is indicating, I'm reading on the Democrats. The Eight of Cups, I apologize for this camera angle. I have to figure out what's going on here. The Eight of Cups is sadness about the losses from the past. Hang on a second. If I have any wrenches, I sometimes forget to ask for wrenches and to thank you. Some of the reporting about Democrats going against Biden was also fake news. Good point. Yes, that's true. So as far as how the Democrats are doing, this is indicating that we've lost a lot. We have lost a lot. We've lost a lot of ground, and it's very sad. The Eight of Pentacles, it's interesting. I've been getting a lot of double number cards lately. It's kind of like, I've been really noticing the preponderance of double numbers. It's been happening a lot the past 3 PNNs. It's like this represents our choice. Sorrow about the past, dwelling on the past, or looking at what we do have. And the Pentacles are indicative of prosperity. Okay? So let's know that we have a lot to work with. And the King of Cups. This is about Biden and how much they have to run on. How much they have to run on. Is Kathy Beale cracking jokes? Lawful permanent residents do not qualify for U.S. citizenship. They vote in an election. Voting when you're not a U.S. citizen is prohibited as lacking good moral character. George Clooney called for Joe to step down. Hey, Christine, we need to get together. I always say that, and we don't do it. Let's write to George Clooney. You and I can gang up on him. Me and Christine. But the King of Cups this is Joe Biden having so much to work on. Thomas is taking a break from the dad jokes. You've done a great job. George Clooney is upset about his wife. What happened to his wife? This is what I get for not watching the news. Anyway, Biden has the goods. Biden has the goods. Bear with me. I'm having a hard time with my camera. Hang on. As you can really see. If anybody out there is a techie and can help me with this camera orientation issue, that would be great. Reach out. Annette Dion 7@gmail.com. I would appreciate it. So Marge, do you have George Clooney's contact information? I'm going to pull 3 cards about the state of our of the campaigns right now. I've got 10 jokes about Wimbledon, and I'm trying to think of one more. Then again, maybe 10 is enough. But 3 cards about. I'm going to pull 3 cards about our democracy, and this one keeps slipping over. There's a lot of anger out there. If you find yourself short-tempered, if you find yourself irritated and annoyed, If you find yourself waking up on the wrong side of the bed, if you find yourself lacking optimism or being able to, I feel like I'm doing a commercial. Do you find yourself upset and frustrated? Are you crying easily? Do you have constant need to punch something? Do you feel like screaming at the top of your lungs frequently? That's what this is. Yes, you do. You do. Mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. We're in it to win it. We're in it to win it. I keep going back in my mind to a Substack article that I wrote a few weeks ago about North Korea and what the rules are. Look it up. If you go to Grassroots to Democracy group on Substack, I'm not sure what the date was. Let me give you a couple of things. If you live in North Korea and you don't have a picture of Kim Jong-un on your wall, you could get a death penalty. If you're feeling negative, you're picking up on the collective. Take the antidote. If you're feeling negative, you're picking up on the collective. So we need more tools now. What did the buffalo say when he left his son? Bye, son. Yeah, well, Thomas already told us that one. Sorry. 3 cards about our democracy. Now, the positive side is people are waking up to what Project 2025 is. The negative side is Trump is now claiming he'd never said that. Where's my sign? Enough with the gaslighting. Our democracy. Our democracy is in peril. We're at a stand. We could go either way right now. Clooney should shut up. Boy, we got lots of Clooney bashing here tonight. One psychic said today that by September, all the stuff about stopping Biden will end. I think it's going to stop sooner. I did get that it would stop. So the 2 of Swords, as far as our democracy is, we're at a turning point. We're at a stalemate kind of, and that's because of the mainstream news lying. That's why. That's why. Now, Trump's crazy talk hasn't stopped at all. And definitely look at Seven of Wands, Princess of Cups. His crazy talk hasn't stopped at all. And people are just making stuff up. If you want to learn how to be more psychic, you ought to consider attending our psychic classes this summer. This Saturday is a tarot class. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. The reason that I'm telling you this is that in the face of not knowing what to believe and who to trust, we've got to develop our psychic abilities. We have to get stronger. We have to develop those muscles and those skills. Trump had Barron on stage with him last night. Melania allowed that. Would have been that poor boy. Our democracy, Princess of Cups, 7 of Wands. I keep on saying it's the women that will be the power, that will be the strength. If you read Project 2025, make sure you share it with people. We don't even have 200 people in the group tonight in the morning. It's called shadow blocking the truth. Let me mention something here. The psychics that prophesy for Donald Trump, the psychics who prophesy for Donald Trump have tens, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't know what Agenda 47 is, James. Can you please give us some insight? I know it came out of a Trumpster's mouth recently, but I didn't even bother to look it up. You think all the network's top guys are scared of the Epstein list? Kathy mentioned that. Let's read on that. I'm going to switch decks because it's time for the nefarious people deck. And just, not for anything, but I just want to share what it's like for me on this end of the camera. With all these hours that I put in and all you wonderful people here, for me to have increasingly less return on my investment it's not your fault. Agenda 47 is a new name for Project 2025. Okay, so it's the same thing. Hang on. Every single day I go through a self-talk, a conversation with myself about whether I should continue because of this YouTube issue. And every single time I think of all of you and how wonderful you are, and that makes me not quit. It's the truth. It's because of you. You all make it worth it. We need to hang together. And I know I have a sense of how Joe Biden feels. I need for people to help me to get my numbers up because they've only gone down. And there are no... It's not like, oh, all the other psychics are better than you and blah, blah, blah. It's not that. It's not that. Yeah, I don't quit. I've told you all before that a lot of my astrology is really similar to Joe Biden's. Which makes sense. Tenacity. Thank you, Warren. The other psychics are not better. It's not a contest. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm competing. It's just that I'm saying that there's something going on where the numbers don't go up, they go down. I'm pulling 3 cards about Project 2025 and the loser. Betty saying I'm only one of 2 that you subscribe to. I appreciate that. Maybe sharing would help. Susan saying Annette is feisty. That's what we love about her. I appreciate that. Not everybody loves it. But if you were with me a few weeks ago, the last weekend in June, the St. Peter's Festival that was here, somebody had a shirt on that said, you may have seen this, and I went up to him and I was filming and it said, I'm not yelling, I'm Italian. It was really funny. Okay, this is about Project 2025. And, you know, the energy around it. Okay, the Knight of Swords. It's going to be shoved down our throats in terms of, yeah, these MAGAs they're determined, but we're more determined. The 4 of Cups is indicating that they kind of screwed up on Project 2025 because they said too much. Yeah, the loser was at a rally last night. I think it was in Florida, and it was a total disaster. I saw him Midas Touch. He was standing there, and he was saying, water spots? Where's my water spot? Water spot? I mean, the guy is like cognitively not even home. There's nobody home up there. The 10 of Swords. Well, as far as Project 2025 goes, I don't really feel like it's going to go over that well. 10 of Swords. All Project 2025 has in it is pain. There's nothing. The only thing Project 2025 has in it is pain for the American people. And he did the Hannibal Lecter thing again. Yeah, yeah. Like, if you're just joining us, I was asking earlier, if you had a friend and you were, I don't know, hanging out, and every time you got together with your friend, they were like, oh, how about that Hannibal Lecter? I mean, first of all, that movie was so long ago. Second of all, personally, I never watched it because I just got the energy of it was horrific. And I'm not really interested in having nightmares. And if I had a friend, Christine, if we went to dinner and you were talking about Silence of the Lambs, I'd be like, you know, I like you and everything, but I'm real busy. He's running on revenge and retribution. Oh, George Clooney has no credibility when he made the movie and didn't release it. I think we should put the pressure on Clooney. We need a rebuttal to Project 2025. Well, Susan is saying that. The rebuttal to Project 2025 is democracy. The Biden administration, the Biden campaign is running on a platform. And the platform is to keep going with this success. I said it last night at our meeting. Without MAGA, America is like flying high. So as far as Project 2025, all it has is pain. It's a recipe for pain. Pain, pain, pain. The Knight of Swords is that they're going to just keep shoving it down our throats. And the Four of Cups is, they've kind of missed the boat on, they didn't plan it very properly, which is good for us, in terms of how they were going to let it roll out. And I feel like right now the MAGAs are kicking themselves, the fascists are kicking themselves a little bit that they said too much. That's what I'm picking up on that. Somebody asked how you can help me. Book a reading. For you. Not out of charity for me. For you. If you have a problem, we can kick butt. How did it get out? How did what get out? So what they're doing is they are having these hearings and pushing despicable things. What we're going to read on right now. First, we're going to read a dad joke. My wife blocked me on Facebook because I post too many bird puns. Well, two can play at that game. Okay. Maria influenced her sister. Good. And Maria, thank you for sending my song to that radio station. They did respond. I think they want to have me on their show, which is great. Okay, so yeah, they want it to happen. They want Project 2025 to happen. It's a plan for evil. It's a plan for an evil takeover of the United States. All right. I did mention Glenn Kirshner's coming to Boston. Hey, Christine, if you want to go, let me know. Sunday night. We're going. Let's do this. Let's ask what's going to happen to the insurrectionists in Congress. Diane's saying you don't want to go back to the 60s or the 70s. It's way worse than the 60s and 70s. Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're not doing a group hug tonight. Sorry. You guys can. The insurrectionists in Congress. The light will be shown on them. What will be shown on them? I can't show you these cards entirely. The light that will be shown on them, on the MAGAs, is very bright. Very, Very, very bright. The light that's going to be shown on them, the revealing light that's going to be shown on these MAGA Putin Republicans is very bright. It's very undeniable. And the Six of Pentacles, all the receipts are there. I do feel a lot of activity around us. Like, what's really happening is because the Supreme Court is pulling this stuff of now we have a monarchy. I'm okay. Where the Supreme Court is pushing this stuff that now we are a monarchy. And that Trump is getting away, well, you know, just for the sake of discussion, he's getting away with all his crimes, seemingly. They're going for an American oligarchy, yes. That's exactly why mainstream media is doing what it's doing. Because under Biden, they can't have an oligarchy. So, what's the result of it? Let me just be really clear. The result of it of the laws and our justice system being under complete assault and attack is it's up to us now. It's all on us. It's all on us. Okay? These people know not what they are doing. That is true. That's a very good point. Because if they think that Donald Trump would be loyal to them, they got another think coming if they keep going in that direction. So, let's read on Clarence Thomas, since I brought up the Supreme Court. And I do recall a while back that I was seeing Clarence Thomas, this is months ago, kind of slinking away, like with his head down, kind of slinking away. So I do, not that he has any shame, but I do think he's going to be forced to face some consequences. Dad joke, what is the worst insult you can say to a ghost? Get a life. Thank you for that. That's my favorite tonight. Okay. Yes, I know. They're asking for a special prosecutor. Let's ask the pendulum. By the way, I love being with you guys, and don't take this the wrong way. Don't take it the wrong way that I'm like really upset, because we are really upset at what's happening. We are really upset. It is a very difficult time that we're in. We're in a lawless time. But it is up to us. Is that going to get traction? Is the movement to impeach? It is going to get traction. It is going to get traction, and that's a strong yes. That movement to investigate Clarence Thomas and to prosecute, get a special counsel prosecutor, that's very, very strong. Yeah, it's a wild, wild west out there. It's like, and that's what tyranny does. Tyranny tears down the justice system, the educational system, all the federal agencies, all of it. All of it. All of it. Well, yeah, just hold the light, wildfire wind, but let's also know just holding the light isn't actually enough. Hold the light while you're taking action. You guys have seen me through it all. You really have. And I do appreciate it. We're pulling 3 cards on Clarence Thomas. It does look like it's going to get somewhere. I am planning to do videos in between PNNs, the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday PNNs, from outside, like I did last summer. Can I read on it? Found that Thomas took a yacht to Russia and was helicoptered to one of Putin's homes. Okay, let me tell you about that. I have read on Aileen Cannon, and whenever I've read on Aileen Cannon, I see a Russian connection. Whenever I've read on Aileen Cannon, I see a Russian connection that's giving her information about how to play the judicial system. She's a useful idiot. And so that news about Clarence Thomas taking a yacht to Russia, being helicoptered to one of Putin's homes, does not surprise me in the least. You did all your venting about Clooney? And you feel better? Good. That's why we're here. They all lied to get their appointments. That's true. So we're in a lawless country. It's kind of hard to face, right? Clarence Thomas, the Ten of Swords again. All roads lead to Putin. That was either, I think it was Nancy Pelosi that said that. Nancy Pelosi said years ago, all roads lead to Putin. I heard her recently saying, remember when she tore up Trump's State of the Union address? This might have been on Lawrence O'Donnell, like last week. She tore up, remember when Pelosi tore up the State of the Union address? She said the reason she did that was because it was all lies. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi said all roads lead to Putin. We're going to find this all out. I've known for years, right? You've probably known for years. And Hillary Clinton said, right to the loser at the debate, you're Putin's puppet. None of that has changed. Is what true? Susan, you have to repeat your question. I don't know what you're asking. All right. Vladimir Putin wants to overthrow the government of the United States of America. It's Vladimir Putin's desire to overthrow the government of the United States of America. It's in the Mueller report that we need to see that Putin was attempting to overthrow the United States of America's democracy. He hates democracy. This is the jewel in his crown. This is why it's a punch to the gut whenever you see these people, MAGA, MAGA. That's why. All roads lead to Russia. Even the Supreme freaking Court. They are being coached. They have been coached. They have been given the fascism playbook, the authoritarian playbook. They have been doing this for years. Reportedly, Thomas went to Putin's house. Yes. One of his homes. Okay. Clarence Thomas. The Ten of Swords. They're sadists. Alito, Clarence Thomas, and Roberts, not as much, but somewhat. They're sadists. They love to be cruel. And so what Clarence Thomas is going to do, in light of this potential prosecutor, is he's going to twist the knife a little more. Yeah, they're total traitors. So the Ten of Swords, what I'm not saying he'll be able to, but what Clarence Thomas is doing is he's planning his retribution and his revenge. So even though the Supreme Court doesn't have any more decisions to make, thank God, right? Clarence Thomas is trying to figure out how to make it more painful. If you want to know how the RNC convention is going to go, watch our show from yesterday. But the Nine of Cups is indicating that there, Clarence Thomas has too many glaringly obvious violations. They've been planning Project 2025 since 1979 when Carter was in office. Yes, that's why Jimmy Carter got ousted. Yes. Okay. So, as far as Clarence Thomas goes, even though he's trying to figure out how to stick it to America again. That's this. The Two of Wands is he won't really be able to do very much, but it will be completely exposed. It will be completely exposed. What he's done. Thanks, Jean. What he's done will be completely exposed. So, and a lot has been exposed, and that's why we have to completely, totally pay attention. Are you guys staying cool out there, temperature-wise? How you doing? It's a nice cool breeze here coming in. We're doing tea leaves tonight. Speaking of tea leaves, thank you once again to our anonymous donor for donating 6 tea leaf readings. Much appreciate. You finally had a cool day where you are? Yeah, nice. Last summer it didn't really get hot here until like the first week in September. Why does Thomas hate America so much and himself? These people are wounded. They're very wounded. They're very disturbed. It's very hot down there in Florida. I wouldn't expect anything else. We're going to read some tea leaves. Very interesting. I'm going to show you the tea leaves. Here we are. There we are. I just wanted you to see. Now, in where the horseshoe is, I'm glad you guys are experiencing some coolness. Where the horseshoe is a figure of a woman. So, I kind of feel like this is saying that the angels and the guides are really strongly with the women. And above the moon here, we see that looks like an airplane. I'm picking up that right around the full moon we're going to see a lot of activity. You see a flying eagle? We usually have birds here. My fire alarm's going off and nothing's burning, so that was weird. There's nothing burning, so I don't know what that was. Very strange. Nothing's on. And it just went right off. The ghosts are activating. Yeah, really. I don't know what's going on tonight. Anyway, see the moon? There's it looks like a plane. This is kind of giving me the message that we need to elevate our consciousness. Around the full moon, there's going to be a lot of intensity. So the full moon is on the 21st. It's a Sunday. Full moon in Capricorn. So learn how to... What I want to say is there's a lot more energy available to us, and we can use it. We can use it for good or evil, but there's more energy available to us. And I know none of you are going to use it for evil. So transcend what's happening. Be involved, but transcend. Get in that higher vibration state. Now, I see that looks like a dog to me. And so this is about loyalty. Remain loyal. Remain loyal. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It went right off. I don't know, it might have been just a bug. And here we see, okay, so there's a dog, and here we see, there's a couple of dogs here. That's about loyalty. We're going to see people being loyal to Biden. I think that's what that's about. And in the cat section, tell me what you guys see there. That looks like a dolphin and a leaf. and then there's a line under the sun. Make sure you're firm. You firmly put your stake in the ground about what you're about. Highlight what you're all about. Put your stake in the ground. That's a dolphin. Don't forget to be playful. That's a cat, which is kind of curiosity. Yeah, stay curious. And that looks like a leaf. Be creative in your thinking about what's possible. Really important. Might need new batteries. Yeah, but that was an interesting timing on that. When I was talking about elevating. Also, I just want you to know that I heard, we're in kind of the whale watch capital here, and they spotted a blue whale offshore. I might need to go. Christine, you still here? We need to go on a whale watch. It's kind of a big deal. The dolphin made me think of that. So, the tea leaves tonight are speaking to, think about new life. That's the leaf. Think about playfulness. The women have a lot of luck with the guides. The women are being guided and protected. Make sure you elevate your consciousness. The message of elevating your consciousness is coming up really strongly. And be loyal. Stay loyal. And that looks like a podium. Visualize Joe Biden at the podium, surrounded by light and angels and guides, and having such a magnanimous presence that people get sort of addicted to working for democracy. There's that. All right. Let's do a group hug. Let's do a group hug. Thank you for the testimonial. We're in this together. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to intend and pray that my numbers go up. And if you intend and pray for that also, then that means we get to see our prayers working. I'm going to intend and pray that people book readings so that I can help you with my expertise and my professionalism. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is where you go. PsychicAnnetteDion.com to book a session. We have a few people. I don't see Sharon's site in the chat, but we have our anonymous donor purchased 6 tea leaf readings. Just send an email to PsychicAnnetteDion.com to where you submit an email, and so do that. Church of Spirituality has its own channel if you need spiritual upliftment, and who doesn't, go there. And grassrootsdemocracy.com. We have a meeting tomorrow night. I'll be back on Friday. We'll be using StreamYard, so Terry will be here. As far as I know, she'll be here on Fridays. And please share my song on, it's on grassrootsdemocracy.com about January 6th. When you become a member, you get an affirmation in your inbox every single morning. It's a great way to start the day. I'm not losing my faith. Don't you lose your faith. We're all in this together. And this is, the test is how much we can stick together. All right? Evil won't win. Love wins. Love always wins. Takes a while sometimes, but it always wins. All right. Thank you for hanging in there with me. The group hug. We are saving democracy together. Please join us. Namaste.